In this tutorial in Cyberlink PowerDirector, we're going to take another look at the Video Collage Designer as implemented in version 17 of the product. We're looking at the same screen we finished the first tutorial with. It has 3 different frames containing 3 different movies or video clips. You can put a video clip, a color board, or a still image in any of the frames. The frames are numbered. I want you to notice again, if you look at the top, it reminds us the woman is 1, the highway is 2, and the waterfall is 3. Now what would happen if we decide we want another layout of 3 frames? Well, I can click in the upper right on the 9 dots and find another layout of 3 and click on that and click on OK. What it does is it remembers which video or still image was assigned to which number. So number 1 is still the woman, number 2 is still the highway, number 3 is the waterfall. Now the issue we may have, as you noticed, is I needed to reposition the woman in this case, and I may have to do that or even resize what I have in any of the 3 frames. But that's what you can do. Now when you're resizing something, I discovered something a few moments ago. If I hold and I click and I move it outside the frame, you notice it turns to a garbage can with a red dot. That means it will empty that frame. So if I let go there, now frame number 1 has no picture in it. And so if that happens and you wonder where did my image or my video go, it means you dragged it outside the frame and it thought you want to delete it. So this is how easy it is to change. Let's click on another one at the top, and here again we have our 3 different videos and our 3 different images that we can resize all we want, or we can reposition to make them work. So that gives you the options. Now what happens if I go from 3 frames to 4 frames? Let's try that and see what happens. Let's take this one over here and click on OK, and now I have 4. It remembered what my number 1 and 2 and 3 were, and obviously it has no clue what I want for number 4. Let's go and put the windmills, the wind turbines, into frame number 4. And now I have 4. Again, I can move to any other option with 4 of them in it. Let's pick this one here, and it remembers what's assigned to each one. Again, where the woman was 1, we expect her to show up in the lower left corner. And number 4 was our newest one, that was our windmill. Now what if you go from 4 to 3 or 5 to 4 if you go backwards? Let's try this one. Let's say we're going to go to one which only has 3. Click on OK. And when I do that, it will drop whichever number is the highest number. So when I go from 4 to 3, I will lose what was ever assigned to frame 4. If I go from 7 to 5, it would drop whatever is assigned to frame 7 and to frame 6. So that's how you can go up and back in terms of the number of frames, and also understand what you gain and what you lose when you go in either direction. So you have a lot of flexibility here to change the layouts, and those are the implications. Let's look at something here called Start Clip Playback. There's an option on the right that defaults to with frame animation. That means the default is when I begin, if I'm animating, the animation of the frames and the animation of the clips will begin at the same time. Let's hit the play key and you'll see what we mean. The frames will move, but also the clips within the frames will also move. You see the water coming down in the waterfall, and a little bit about the car coming down the road, and the woman doesn't move an awful lot. But you realize that even as the frames are moving, the clips are all playing. I'm going to click on the pause button here, and I have after frame animation. What will happen now will be I'll play my collage, and the movies will not begin until after the frames are fully animated. And so now we have that delay. And if that's important to you for the sake of the flow of your collage, that's what you can do to change it. There's another option here that says before or after clip playback. Now, what is this all about? You notice whenever you look at any clip, it gives you the duration. Right now, my default is set to have the collage last for the duration of the longest clip, and we'll get to that in a bit. The collage will play for at least 21 seconds and 1 frame. Now the implications are, if it does that, this frame here will be finished playing and my collage will continue. And so the question is, what do I want to do if that frame isn't playing? I basically have 3 options. One, and the default, is to freeze the video. So if the collage says this one is all done, it's finished, then it will actually freeze it on the last frame. Another option is to make it display a color board, and I can pick the color. Another is basically to loop it, to restart playback. So the default, let's get near the end of this. Let's go in 13 seconds, so we're near the end of this clip here, and we'll see what happens. We'll play it. Okay, it's frozen. And notice the woman is still active. We see a little bit of movement, blinking of the eye, but the waterfall froze at 17 seconds. So that's the default. The other option is to display the color board. So we'll move over into about 12 seconds in and play it, and you'll see the difference. Now the upper left goes blank. Now the upper right goes blank. And now, because it's the longest video and she's the longest video, that's what that looks like. And again, you can change the color board by going to the color selector and picking a different color if you like. The third is to restart playback. Let's try that. And we'll move into our project about 12 seconds and click on play. And we notice the car starts coming down the road for a second time in the upper left clip. And by the time we get done, we also find that the waterfall shoots back to the first frames over here. So those are the 3 options you have on what a clip is to do when it's not told to be playing. And so those are some of the main controls that you have on your primary screen. In the next tutorial, we're going to get into the advanced settings and show you some of the things that you can do to further modify and adjust your collage.